What is up, everybody? In this video we are talking about must-haves on the PlayStation 2, and honestly this is a very hard thing to do because there are so many awesome games for the PlayStation 2, so there will be many more of these. However, I picked out a few that I thought you guys must have if you own a PlayStation 2, and games that are very cheap. So I've got a stack here and I want to tell you guys that all of these games are awesome. Yes, there are sports games, there are racing games, there are all kinds of games on the system that I think are worth having. And so I've got a few of those games here, both sports, racing, and a few other genres that I think you guys definitely need to have. So with that being said, the first one is ATV Offroad Fury. And I have the second one because I think the second one is honestly my favorite game in this series, and I will say that this series is a game changer for racing games that are ATV. Now I know there were other ones as well, but I think ATV Offroad Fury and Fury 2 to be exact were some of my favorite games. Now the courses were very wild, they were awesome, you raced down the tracks, and honestly I got one of those steering wheels with the pedals to play this game, because it was just absolutely insane to actually feel like I was playing this game back when it was awesome and out. So that is another reason I had to add this to the list. This is a great game, I enjoy playing it, but it does also remind me of when I got that steering wheel and I would sit on my couch and have my feet using that steering wheel with the pedals. Such an awesome thing. Next is yet again another sports game, or I guess the first sports game on this list, and kind of the only sports game unless you count racing, but whatever, and that is NBA Street Volume 2. And yet again, this is another sequel to a game, but I think this is the best one of the series as well. And I don't know what it is about Volume 2, but I know that it was over the top. You could play basketball, and I love the NBA or the NFL or anything that was sports related that was street. It seemed to be a much more relaxed, much more wacky, much more fun environment to play. And this game had some of the coolest things. Playing this was an all-time favorite of mine when I was a kid, because you could play with some super awesome players on here as well. You would do these wild tricks to score, you would pass, and think of like an NBA Jam that was basically on the street. And so it was just well played, well done, and overall a great thing that I love to play and still love to play these games as a current generation. This was a while back, but I still love to play this, and so I think this is another must-have on the system. Who keeps putting these terrible games in my stack? For some reason, Let's Ride Silver Buckle Stables is a must-have? Like, seriously, why is that even on the list? But nonetheless, we're going to continue on, and we will talk about another very great game, and that is Destroy All Humans. And if you have ever played this game, it is a weird, wacky game. You are an alien who is on planet Earth, and obviously you know what planet Earth is, and you are trying to evade capture. So what you're doing is shooting things, zapping them. It's a very wacky game, but it is a very fun game as well. So I think this is a must-have just because of that weird wackiness of it. It's a fun game to play through. It looks cool. It's a weird game, so it obviously is something I'm gonna like. So I think this is a game you definitely need, and that is because of the weirdness of it. I mean, who doesn't love aliens? Honestly, like, look at the cover right there. It's just pretty amazing. And at the bottom it says, "One giant step on mankind," which I just think is hilarious. So the whole thing is fun to play, and I love shooting cows or zapping cows, whatever you want to call it. You can fly around on the UFO shooting and destroying stuff. So I definitely suggest getting this if you do not have it. It is a ton of fun. Next we have Castlevania Lament of Innocence, and honestly I've tried to take this sticker off, but there's a sticker underneath it and it just always rips. And so I've stuck it on there, or left it on there, I guess, but it just looks horrendous. So don't put stickers on your games. That's the lesson you'll learn from this game. But back to actual Castlevania. If you love a Castlevania game, this is a very, very fun one. Now, it's one of those that takes you into the 3D realm, and it just is a great step towards more Castlevania games. I love this game. It is a lot of fun. Now, for some reason, I don't hear a lot of people talking about this game, maybe because of where it's sat in the history kind of Castlevania. However, I like this game. It is a dark game, and it looks very cool. There's always a lot of cool things to do. You know what you're getting with a Castlevania game. However, I feel like this is a definite must-have that people just kind of gloss over. They go to other games that are Castlevania, and I think this is a very awesome game. And then, last but not least, for this must-have list is one that is on other systems, as well as some of these other games, but these are must-haves on the PlayStation 2, and that is Need for Speed Underground. Now, I know there are a bunch of other Underground games and Need for Speed games, but I think this is definitely a must-have. Now, I have the second one as well. I didn't pick that one. I picked this one just because of kind of how much I played this one. I just have the nostalgia for it, I guess. However, this game is actually a lot of fun. It introduces a lot of cool stuff. You've got your cars, you can change them, race. All the cool races probably came from this. If you've played other racing games that are kind of street racing games, this is probably where it started. And I love this game, and I think it is a super cheap game that people always dismiss or overlook. Now, I know there are a few great racing games like Burnout and this one, and honestly, I think these games kind of get overlooked, but they deserve to at least have recognition for that. And that's why I added this one to the list, is because Need for Speed Underground is a big, momentous game that was something that rocked the world and gave you guys some of the awesome things that you have in racing games now. So, with that said, I had to add this to the list because of what it was. So, that was a list of 5 games that are must-haves on the PlayStation 2. I've got a bunch of them here, and I have a ton of PlayStation 2 games, like at least one full row of games back here behind me. So I definitely wanted to talk about it a little bit and let you guys know these games are all cheap. None of these games are over like $10, maybe $15 if you're talking Castlevania, but all the rest are really cheap. So you guys need to make sure that if you have a PlayStation 2 and you're looking for great games, this list right here is totally a must-have. So with that being said, I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for so much. I want to say don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification because it will let you know what videos and when I post. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much, but make sure you have a good day.